Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today for our latest episode of MSME Masterclass. As I welcome you all to the episode 8 of Masterclass, for today's insightful session, we are honored to have joined us by a true visionary, Mr. Ravi Kishor, the managing director of Aditya Drier Tech Private Limited. Mr. Kishore's journey is a remarkable tale of entrepreneurship, innovation, and transformative leadership that has left an indefinite mark in the business landscape. With a mechanical engineering degree and a master's in business management, Mr. Kishore is not only an industrialist but also a technocrat with exceptional aptitude for strategic leadership. He has taken the reins of Aditya Drier Tech at a family-owned business with a zeal to redefine success and innovation. Mr. Kishore's impact is reflected in the thriving enterprise he built, with employing over hundreds of individuals, together striving for as a goal to grow the business. What's truly impressive is his commitment to innovation and growth. Under his leadership, the company has flourished, marked by the establishment of a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility equipped with cutting-edge CNC machines. His journey is highlighted by his philosophy of designing and building products that add real value to customers, an ethos which is evident in his groundbreaking accomplishment of designing and manufacturing the largest paddy dryers in the country. The scale and innovation of his feat has revolutionized the productivity for the rice millers across India. Beyond innovation, Mr. Kishore's transformative leadership style shines through his commitment to empowering team which works with him, which is underlined by his certification as a trainer in psychogeometrics, which is an advanced psychometric tool used by several industries. This holistic approach to leadership sets him apart and further enriches his role as a mentor. Join us today as we dwell into the dynamic world of innovation, entrepreneurship, and transformative leadership with Mr. Esteemed Ravi Kishor ji. His insights are sure to leave you inspired and motivated to chart your own path to success. Thank you for joining us, sir. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Nikhil. I quite like the intro. So you dwelled in quite a few important things apart from what I've sent you. So obviously you looked up in the net and maybe come up with some more things. Thanks a lot for inviting me.
Absolutely, sir. So, sir, as we join with you today, sir, could you talk a little more about Aditya Drier Tech and your journey as a businessman?
So to start off with, I come from a family of engineers. My father was a mechanical engineer who was a design person who worked in the paper machinery manufacturing industry. He was regarded as one of the most technically knowledgeable persons in the industry. He could be among the top 5 people who regarded as the top 5 technical people in the industry. And he has traveled the world across wherever paper machinery is built across the world, especially in Europe. My eldest brother is also a mechanical engineer, and he has worked in L&T before he came into business. My second brother and sister-in-law happen to be chemical engineers who worked in an esteemed organization called Engineers India Limited, which is the premier design consultancy firm. Fortunately, my wife comes from a different background. She's a professional in mass communication and specializes in corporate communication. She was the manager corporate communications in APEPDCL, which is the local state electricity board. Now she resigned later and joined our family business. So I myself started my career. We all come from the working background. So I started my career as a marketing engineer in Sitar Vessels Limited, a boiler manufacturing company based out of Trichy, back in 1991. Later I joined an organization called Indus, who were into manufacturing parboiling and drying equipment. In both these organizations, I was one of the key performers for the organizations, and I basically grew very rapidly. By the end of 1996, I started feeling that I am restricting my growth and wanted to explore more possibilities. That is how I got into business. And what started as a single person doing basically engineering consultancy has now grown into an organization doing about 20 crores of business, employing close to 100 people directly and indirectly, and into 3 product lines. We are basically into 3 different product verticals. We are among the top 5 manufacturers of paddy parboiling and drying equipment in the country. We started manufacturing steel silos about 1 year back. This was a product which we used to import earlier from a company in Europe. But later on, we worked on the design and we developed a design based on the available equipment without investing on additional equipment. And the market response and feedback has been really great, and we are looking to scale up this particular division as we see a great potential for food grain storage. And about 3 years back, we launched a modular kitchens brand called Jumbo SS Kitchens. So in this, we manufacture a premium range of modular kitchens in stainless steel. Here again, the market response for this product has been absolutely phenomenal, and we are getting inquiries across the country. And we are looking to scale this brand across the country by appointing channel partners and looking forward to making it a national level brand.
That's a great aspiration.
As far as journey of my journey as an entrepreneur goes.
That's great, sir. See, as seeing from, family of businessmen, engineers everywhere, from various fields across, I see that, your inspiration comes from within and that you continue to grow.
Very much. My family has been a very big support.
That's great, sir. So now that you understand a little bit of your business as being one of the biggest, and even that you started new products that you have launched, as you're trying to scale up across this several years, sir, what might be the key challenges that your business has faced that maybe you feel like this is where it held you back?
So I think for most of the MSMEs, the single biggest challenge actually starts in the mind first. That is what I feel. How can we think big? Somewhere, most of us as MSMEs are guilty of undermining our ability and true potential. Fortunately for me, my wife and my brother have been around me and kept pushing me and giving me assurance that I had the potential and I can make it big. In fact, the way we started the manufacturing facility is also a fascinating story. Back in 1999, when we got married, we were newly married, and those days we had not started manufacturing. I was working as an independent consultant. And one of my clients in Raipur had assigned a job where I had to travel to Pune to inspect equipment which they were purchasing. So being newly married, both of us were traveling. I took my wife along with me and we visited this factory, a really nice factory in Pune. And as we were going around, my wife suddenly looked up and said, we should have a factory like this. So it was really a big thing for somebody who earning maybe around 20,000 those days. 20,000 back in 99 was not too bad a sum, but to build a factory, definitely that was not sufficient. But it gave us a vision that, yes, this is where we want to head. And going forward, 2005, we did set up the manufacturing facility and very much in lines with the factory which we saw in Pune, and it's built on the same platform. So that is one thing where I see the big challenge for most MSMEs is how do we think big? And the second biggest challenge I feel going forward actually is hiring the right people. Especially in the mid and senior level, most of the people in the mid range or senior level people are not very keen to join smaller organizations. The challenge comes to hire the people there as you're scaling up. Now, as you're scaling up, initially maybe we can drive the growth, but going forward, definitely we need more people, and that is where the challenge lies.
Yes, sir. So I think that basically is like one of the bigger challenges, to find the right set of people to work with towards to striving to a goal. So yes. Along like this, did you face any kind of, maybe like market challenges, like, maybe because of the competition or things like, maybe you wanted to upgrade your machinery or something and you were kind of maybe facing challenges or maybe like capital related, but there also challenges like these you faced?
So not too many. So one of the key things we have always done is we always look to build very niche products. So we always wanted to build a product which is slightly different from the market. So when we talk of the core business like dryers, when we started manufacturing dryers which were much bigger than what the industry was at that point of time was making. So what happened is, so we always went a step ahead in terms of technically superior product compared to what the industry was facing. So that way we did not face too many challenges when it came to marketing. And the other thing we did well in terms of getting orders, raising orders, is we focused big time on customer satisfaction. So a majority of our orders even today come from references from older customers or repeat orders from older customers.
Yes.
So that way we have not faced major challenges in terms of marketing. In terms of investments for machinery, what we have done basically is we have scaled up one step at a time. We have not tried to build the entire factory in one shot. So we keep adding on machinery every 1 year, every 2 years, we keep adding on one new machine. So it keeps the factory updated, as well as doesn't put too much of stress on finances. So that's the way we have planned. So maybe the growth becomes a little slower, but overall, I think we find this more manageable.
That's great, sir. So that way you were able to keep your plans stable and make sure that your capital utilization was at the best. So since you just spoke about maybe your marketing activities and everything were great, and you're getting a lot of repeat orders, I would like to just follow up with the question of how important was customer service been to the growth of your company, your organization?
So customers focus and customer service, I feel, is one of the key things for any business. And to me, customer service is more of a mindset. One of the things, being into capital equipment, one of the things I keep telling my team always is, our average ticket size is about 1 crore. So a client placing an order is basically trusting our organization with a volume of 1 crore, which is a very big amount. So I keep telling my people, even if the client is not happy, even if he's shouting on us or anything, remember that in the first place, he has trusted us with such a big amount. So it is very much our duty to satisfy him and give him a product which we have committed, product and service which we have committed. So to me, customer service is more of a mindset where, we understand that it's very important to extend that service. Also transfer that to the people down the line. People who are actually working on the ground have to understand that it's very important to make customers satisfied. Another thing, when we talk of customer service, the way we handle customer complaints is one of the key, I feel. So we have always looked at customer complaints as an opportunity to improve product quality, design, and service. So every time a product complaint comes from a customer, so we try to find where is the gap. Is it just an operational issue? There are a number of times it could be just an operational issue, but there are times when actually it leads to a gap, maybe in our design, maybe in the terms of installation. So that's always an experience. I always keep telling my team that customer complaints have to be taken seriously and taken as a learning experience.
Yes.
Apart from this, we also give a lot of importance to the buying experience of the customer. So coming from always being into capital equipment market, I always believed in a consultative approach towards marketing. When we go and sit with a client, we always see what value can we add. So coming from a boiler industry background, I share my inputs on how to select the best possible boiler to a rice miller. Similarly, our dealings are all very transparent. So we ensure deliveries are on time, and we always ensure that customer concerns are taken care of. So all this put together has ensured that our customer service is taken very seriously, and that is the reason why we have clients like we have closed one order yesterday from a client who has been with us for almost 20 years now. And yesterday, very jokingly, he was telling, sir, half our plant belongs to you. So, if you look at it geographically, 50% of the area of the plant is occupied with the equipment supplied by you. So that's a great satisfaction, and people keep coming back. And typically, he was telling, we don't take quotes anymore from anybody. We just, whenever we have a requirement, we just call you and place the orders. So that's definitely a reflection of the way we have handled customer service.
That shows a great dedication, sir. Seeing, you've been sticking to your customer with 20 years and they just keep coming back to you for purchasing of this equipment. As we are just talking about a little about, how you cater to your customers and purchasing equipment and all. Just on the side note, sir, like as basically many smaller manufacturers and industries kind of deal with it, do you also work on like a credit-based system where, you probably give them the equipment first and then take the amount later because it's such a huge volume, such huge volume price.
So fortunately for us, now we don't work on credit at all. So earlier, there used to be a case where certain amount used to be in capital equipment. It is never totally credit. So they do keep a certain amount, 5% or 10% as retention, and say, okay, once the plant is operational and we are satisfied with the performance, we'll give it.
Makes sense.
Over a period of time, we built our reputation. So now we, to handle our cash flows, we insist that customers pay upfront. And before the final dispatch, all payments are collected. So we build that reputation in the market now.
That's great, sir. As you know, you're building a great reputation in I would assume it's a niche industry of dryer tech industries. What would you say as an innovative leader, sir? What were your innovative approaches or strategic decisions that you believe have contributed to your success to bring you till here today, sir?
So, like I said, I was working in an organization manufacturing dryers, and I came out and we started manufacturing the same product. So I always believed, I always believed that your product or service should have a key differentiator from your competition. I still believe that we should have a major differentiator to market your product better. So we always try to build, like I said, we built dryers which are bigger. So back in 2003, when the industry norm was, the dryer capacities used to be 24 tons. So we built a dryer which was 32 and then 40 tons. 2004, we built India's first 50-ton dryer. And going forward, by 2007, we built a dryer which was 100 ton. We had a client who suddenly asked, what is the biggest dryer you can manufacture? So we assessed the total technical aspects and said, we can come up with 100 tons. And he placed the order, he trusted us and placed the order. And till now, we are the only manufacturer who have about 10 dryers working in that capacity, 100 ton single dryers. And most of the competition, even now, doesn't make dryers which are bigger than 50 tons.
Okay, so you're miles ahead of your competition.
Yeah, that is in terms of the product sizing. And to me, product innovation actually starts from understanding specific customer requirements and identifying the gap which they are facing within the industry in terms of the way they are operating, the challenges they are facing from their, say, operators, from the industry, in terms of the quality of the end product and various things. Product innovation, to me, need not be something very big or radical. Any small change which can add value to the customer is a significant improvement for us.
That's great.
The other thing we have done well is we have always invested on resources with a future in mind. Whenever we buy any machinery in our facility, the question we normally ask is not what do we need now. We all normally ask ourselves, what will the facility need going forward? 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, what is the facility that our industry will require? So we go ahead and invest on that, even if it requires a little more investment. So that is something which we always done with whenever we have invested in machinery. And another key thing which has helped us is actually, since you said, do we have challenges in terms of raising finances? So one of the things we have done very well is building a very, very reliable supply chain. Because we are based in the steel industry where we have to purchase steel in bulk. So when initial stages, when we did not have a lot of financial strength, so we built a very good supply chain who could give credits to us. We could take up bigger projects without, affecting the cash flows too much. So I feel for MSMEs, it's very, very important to have a strong supply chain who can give us quality products, maybe credit at some point of time, and it's our responsibility to take care of their interests.
Yes.
It cannot be a one-way scenario. So we always believe our supply chain is part of our organization.
It's pretty important factor, sir. As we were discussing all this, sir, as you mentioned, you always look for the future while you're trying to build your products and what kind of way you want to be looking at yourself ahead of time. I would like to ask the question, sir, as many people also want to have like an idealistic opinion. Like, what are the future plans for your business, sir? And as an individual, as a businessman, what are your plans for you, sir, in this business?
So, like I said, we have built a very strong product. Technically, products are accepted. They're performing very well. So, one of the things maybe we could do better is actually market strategically and expand our reach. Since we have a very good product, we'll be actually servicing the industry much better if we are able to reach them. So, we're trying to expand our markets to different areas. Right now, we work in close to 8 states. So Andhra, Telangana, Orissa, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Bihar, parts of West Bengal. So we are also trying to expand into other markets, and even within these states, pockets which we have not reached, we are trying to reach that. The other thing which we are really excited about is the brand Jumbo's Kitchens. We definitely see a huge potential for that, and we are trying to build it up as a national brand and appoint channel partners across the country. That's one thing which we are looking big time. And one of the avenues which we have not looked into so far is an export market. So definitely for all our products, there is a very good export market. So that is something which we want to explore going forward. This is as far as the business goes, and as an individual, I definitely would like to take up business consultancy as we go forward, especially to help the younger entrepreneurs to scale up their businesses faster. So we grew, probably took a longer time to grow because we were trying to learn ourselves and grow. So maybe we can crunch the growth time for other entrepreneurs by helping them out. That is one big passion we have between me and my wife. So we have a brand called Ravi Kishor, which is into business consultancy, and going forward, we definitely like to take that up as one of our major activities.
That's nice, sir, that as you've been exploring opportunities to even help other businesses, sir, do give us an opportunity here to at least, maybe I would like to ask the question, and maybe other MSMEs and businesses here would like to know, what would you be giving want to give as an advice on, maybe best practices, strategies, insights, or anything from your personal opinion, as you've been also part of business consulting for a while, to other MSMEs and manufacturers? What can they learn? What should they pick up, and what should they focus on, according by you, sir?
Yeah. So the first thing I said earlier is start thinking big. We probably belong to the medium and small sector as MSME concerns, but there should not be anything small in terms of the way we think. We should definitely think really big. And it's very, very important to work on our business, for especially first generation entrepreneurs who just started business. We at times tend to keep working in our business. We are working only in our business on a day-to-day activities and all that. But it's very important to come out of the routine activities and also focus on how to grow the business as an overall thing. Second big thing I'll suggest everybody is to manage your cash flows and accounts very well. It's very easy for me to say I'm an engineer, I don't want to understand accounts and all, but to run the business successfully, it's very, very important to understand your cash flows. To me, cash flows is even more important than the bottom line. So I'll suggest everybody at least learn the basics of accounting and finances. That will help you big time. And another big area for MSMEs is compliance. I always believe that we have to comply with the rules of the land, whether it is GST, ESI, PF, income tax. Even if you have a consultant who comes and says, I'll manage it for you, never go that route. I always believe comply with whatever the rules of the land is. If we are living in this country, we have to go by the rules of the country. And a lot of times we tend to try to do everything ourselves.
Yes.
So that's not a great idea. Sometimes, it's very good to collaborate and gain domain expertise. Right now, we are, exploring process automation in our plants. So we are collaborating with the gentleman in Bangalore, and where he is helping us. He has domain experience in automation and PLCs and SCADA. So we are not breaking our head to develop that. So we are collaborating. So it can be a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely.
And coming to resources, I strongly believe that we all have to invest on the major resource, which is manpower. I'm a strong believer that we have to, as entrepreneurs, we have to plan for the growth of each and every individual working in your organization. They should grow within the organization and work happily for us. It should never be that they're working just for a salary, or they're just working because they don't have any other options. So I'm a strong believer that we have to keep empowering our staff. And having built a team, it's very important to delegate and give a free hand to work. It's always very, very important to keep appreciating and encouraging the ideas from your team. They are likely to come up with a lot of very good ideas. There can be some ideas which may not work, but it still need to be encouraged. You cannot just tell them to stop thinking.
Exactly.
Apart from this, as an individual, what I strongly feel is, we have to learn to network. Networking is very, very important these days. I'm a part of a platform called BNI, where we say your net worth is your network. So it's very, very important to build a community of like-minded people with similar growth mindsets. And an entrepreneur's journey is generally a little tough, where we have to handle a lot of things. So it's very, very important to keep ourselves fit mentally, physically. So for me, I'm crazy about fitness. So I take my fitness very seriously. So it does help. Also, you have to keep upgrading yourselves in terms of your knowledge base. So you have to keep attending. I attend programs in IIM Bangalore and ISB on a regular basis, and keep telling myself. And I am somebody who reads a lot. So I encourage everybody to build a reading habit. So that's also something which has to be taken up very seriously. And another big thing which I suggest everybody is, spend time with your family. Include your family in key decision making. So when we are looking for resources outside, how about the resources you have in-house? Make them part of your business. And I hear a lot of my colleagues saying that my children don't want to come into business. I strongly suggest, the next generation have to take a business. They are the people who can scale up our businesses to the next level. So if you have kids in the house, tell them they have to come and, make the business really big.
So I wish also for everybody as a future entrepreneur to be able to come onto the platforms and, be able to build their own business. While you have been talking about, I just remember a point, sir, where while you're talking about how empowering employees and all, I remember a very, keen point in part of your description, sir, like we were discussing. I would like to understand, sir, that you are a certified trainer in psychogeometrics, which is like a very unique combination for an entrepreneur to be having such kind of as a trainer certification in a psychometric tools and all. Could you maybe throw some light on this part of your journey that you've decided to be a trainer?
So I have always been fascinated about training people and understanding people. So I came across this tool. I'm also a DISC practitioner. I can do a DISC analysis for people to understand leadership styles. So I came across this tool called psychogeometrics, which basically analyzes people based on a shape philosophy. So this is a great tool to basically first and foremost understand ourselves. We are all wired differently. We are comfortable with some people and we are not comfortable with others. We get along very well with some people. We cannot get along well with others. But as entrepreneurs, we have to get work done from everybody, whether it is our clients, employees, suppliers, and all that. So, how do we understand what are the leadership styles, what are the personality types of different people? So, this study is all about that. So, I got certified as a trainer in that. So, we conduct workshops to help others. Also gives me a lot of leeway when, especially when I'm dealing with difficult clients, to understand basically what is their thought process, and it definitely gives us an edge being a certified psychometric trainer. So that's an area of passion for me.
That's an excellent passion, sir. I see that you really like to help others, help your employees, and help everybody in the business to grow together with you, sir. I see that you have like great interest as a leader, and that shows great leadership skills, sir. I think thank you for this. I think from my side personally, I think that's about the questions. But we have a couple of questions before the session we have gotten from our registered participants. So I would like to go towards that, ask those questions right now. While parallelly, anybody in the audience, if they have any questions right now, they could directly raise it in the Q&A session and we'll pick it up while we do a few more questions together with Mr. Ravi Kishor, sir. Okay. So there's a question by Mr. Sharad Gade from Sri Balaji Enterprises. How to raise capital without a loan for business? And I think he has followed a few more questions, but let's focus on this one.
So it's a very difficult question to answer. So, Mr. Sharad, I am not a financial wizard. I don't have a great deal of knowledge in finances, but I can share how we have managed to handle our cash flows without taking too many loans. So, as I said, our company is right now debt free in terms of capital investments. So, we do have a working capital limit, but otherwise we are debt free. So how have we managed that is basically we have worked on building a very strong trust. So based on that, most of our vendors are okay to give us credit, number one. And most of our customers are okay giving us advances. When we started business, the first challenge was, does a customer have enough trust on me to give me an advance? So fortunately today we have built the kind of trust where people are okay giving even 50% advances, where the industry norm is about 20%. Some clients, okay, say, I want deliveries very quickly, so can we do that? Okay, I'm okay giving you more advance. So we have handled our cash flows well, and that has basically helped us to stay away from the debt trap. So I'm not sure if that answers his question, but this is the way we have managed our cash flows.
That's an excellent way. So I think that should kind of answer the question of Mr. Sharad Gade. I think additionally along the lines, he had single line question like competitive quotation and profit of margin. I think if maybe you want to shed some light on that.
Yeah. So from capital equipment, because we are more into capital equipment thing, and probably that applies to everybody. So one of the things we do is when we are talking to a client, we always focus on the benefits of the product and the key differentiators. Like, to give you an example, when we are talking about our dryer, we always maintain that our dryers are very, very energy efficient. So what is it in it for the client? So when we say, if you take a dryer from Aditya Drier Tech, it will consume lesser steam. So your fuel consumption comes down. So we are in a position where we can give them calculations and say, okay, this is the amount of fuel you can save per year. And you can convert that to a rupee value and say, okay, this is the amount of value you can convert in a particular year if you go for our plant instead of a competitor's plant. So we always focus on the benefits to the customers. And the other thing, to be competitive, we should be very, very thorough with our costing. So this is one thing which we have done well, especially in capital equipments, where we have a lot of components. So we are doing very thorough in terms of what is our cost first and foremost. So you want to be very competitive. You have to understand what is our costing first, work on that. So one of the things we have done is we started buying raw material directly from prime manufacturers like JSW1. Has been a platform where we are buying. We also have an MOU with SAIL for the stainless steel purchase. So there is also some area where we have tried to stay competitive by reducing our purchase cost. And if you want to be really competitive, you also have to keep studying what the competition is offering. It's very important that you understand what is the competitors offering, so you can stay a step ahead of them.
That's excellent, sir. That's the best way to look at it. There's a question, a new question by Pranshu Mittal from Ambika Steel Corporation. In the ever-changing manufacturing scenario, what, according to you, is the ideal role of steel dealers and traders in this ecosystem?
Yeah, that's an excellent question because I can relate to that. See, one of the things we look from steel traders is, to be transparent in terms of product quality, in terms of the pricing. So one of the reasons why we work a lot with SAIL, especially the Salem stainless steel division, is they're always transparent in terms of what is available at stock. So if they'll give an offer, material is available. If you make a payment, material is delivered immediately.
Yes.
So sometimes traders tend to say, okay, let's not leave the order. Even if I don't have the material, let me try to arrange, let me book the order, take the order. So I still like traders to be transparent and say, okay, right now I don't have the material. I have one lot coming in. Can I deliver next week? So that always makes me, work with the person much more rather than somebody who will book the order and then keep me waiting.
Exactly.
And the other things we keep looking from steel traders is to, keep us updated with the latest developments in terms of any changes, upcoming changes in prices, any international price changes are coming up, any plant shutdowns are happening. Suppose, I remember we used to buy material from Jindal. We used to have a zonal manager in Hyderabad who once told us, okay, plant is going in for a shutdown next month, so you'll probably have delivery issues for 1 month. So it helps us to plan ahead, how can we keep material in stock which we require, and keep us updated on any new products which are coming up. So I guess traders, if they're transparent and willing to be communicative and keep us updated, we'll always be okay to working with us. And we do, as I said, we do need a supply chain to keep going.
That's an everlasting process, sir, to keep it continuously going. So we got a question from Mr. Srinivas Dadla.
Yeah.
How do you encourage your employees to come up with new ideas?
So basically, like I said, you have to trust them. So you have to trust their ability. You have to trust that you have taken the right people, and give them a leeway to work. First and foremost, once you give them a leeway to work, they are most of them are young lots, so they have innovative ideas. They will come up. To be patient, even if they come up with some ideas which may not be suitable. If they come up with a couple of ideas which are not working, don't shut yourself off saying, okay, this doesn't work. So they're likely to, if you persevere with them, they're likely to come up with better ideas, and keep encouraging them to think out of the box, come out with new challenges, new ways of working. That's I feel the key, and a continuous process. It can't be a one-off system.
Makes sense, sir. It's a continuous process where you keep engaging your employees, work together to make new ideas come success together, sir. So there's a question from Peru from DC Enterprises. How did you deal with the COVID-19? How did it affect you? And how did you maybe move ahead of the if any damages happened by COVID-19?
So this is something which is very close to our hearts. When COVID hit, we had about 40 people working in the factory, And most of our shop floor employees come from remote places in Bihar and West Bengal. And they have been with us, and we're really supportive, and we are proud of our teams. In fact, we have at least 5 employees who have actually got their children into our organization. They've got their sons and made them join our organization. So we are very, very pro people. So when COVID hit and the first phase where we were totally locked down for 40 days, we basically paid everybody. So we said, you don't need to bother your families. I mean, we strongly felt that as entrepreneurs, it's our basic responsibility to take care of not just our employees, their families are dependent on us. So that is one thing which we felt very strongly, and we made sure that they get their salaries. We told them, don't budge, stay put, stay in the factory, don't try to go back home. We had horrible stories of people walking back home and suffering a lot. So we made sure nothing of that sort happened with our team. We said, just stay put, we'll take care of you once things open. And it actually helped us, because after 40 days when we reopened, we were one of the few people who were operational. A lot of people, smaller organizations, were not operational. So we got a lot of jobs. Some of them could have been odd jobs. We had a company who were trying to build ventilators for medical applications, and they wanted a casing in stainless steel. So at that point of time, they approached us, and we, with our design team, we worked with them and came up with one design. Then because rice comes under the essential commodities, so we could start working immediately. We had permissions from the government to work. So being operational and keeping everybody in place, and our instruction to people were, okay, go once a week, see that all the machines are in place, basic routine maintenance is done. So fortunately for us, I think COVID didn't affect us too badly, and we were up and running as soon as the first lot of closure was done. So we were there. So in fact, we went the reverse way. The people who were stuck at homes, we actually spent a lot of money to get them back. So we basically hired, even people came by buses, people hired individual vehicles, team of 6 came in a Jeep. So we basically were okay to even spend money to get them back to work.
That's an excellent practice, sir. That just highlights how, as a great leader, you are to want to, support your team, everybody, even while, everything was unsure, uncertainty was everywhere, and you wanted to make sure people you are close with are feeling safe, sir. That's a great practice, sir. And I think that kind of, wraps up the questions we were able to cover up right now. First and foremost, I would like to, as we are ending the session, sir, I would really like to thank you, sir, for, making this an enriching session, sir. Thank you for all your valuable insights and inspirations that you have shared today. This has been like a great journey, trying to unravel your journey as, like a visionary, innovator, technocrat, and a leader, sir.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank you, and especially the JSW1 platform. It's been a great help. We have been on the platform for a little more than a year now. So what JSW1 has done for us basically is to make it easy for us to procure material. Like I said, we developed a storage silos. So this requires galvanized sheets of 275 GSM.
Yes.
So when we started, unfortunately, nobody in close circles, Vizag, Vijayawada, near us, nobody was stocking 275 GSM. So when we approached JSW1, they were able to source it from the other dealers where they're located in Hyderabad or Bombay, wherever, based on our requirements, they were able to source that material and coordinate with their other dealers and the plant, make sure that we get the material. So I mean, JSW1 is an absolutely great platform, especially for MSMEs.
Thank you, sir. That's the kind of goal that we strive to be able to help everyone with whatever material requirement, measurements that you require to be able to deliver to you. This makes us feel really happy, sir. Thank you for continuous confidence in us and doing business with us, sir. While this goes on, I would like to thank everyone, the participants, for joining this episodes. I hope that this has been an insightful session and that you have been able to get some takeaways from it and implement in your business. Thank you, everyone. Join us again for the next episode of Masterclass next month. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for being on the platform.
Thank you, sir.